Hi YouTube, DFishman76 here. I'm going to show you how I put bee funded in my hives. It's going to be real quick. It's like mid 40s, mid to upper 40s. I don't like going in them very much when it's below 50, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And the way I work here lately, it's always cold on my days off. So I'm going to show you how I do it. This is a outer cover. This one's actually my first hive I ever had. It was a package hive. I got them from a guy there in Fayetteville. Brought them home, put them in. They've been doing good. Went through them one day, rode the queen, killed her, so I had to requeen this hive. This actually hive here has a varroa resistant queen in it. Varroa mites is one of the things that's plaguing the bees here lately. So this is my only varroa queen I've got. I'm using her and trying her out, and so far she's been doing good. Last time I was in this hive it was really strong, so we'll see what's going on with it. But this is the inner cover. No, this is the regular cover. This is the inner cover that I made. It's a vented cover. It helps with moisture. It's got the vents all the way around it and stuff. But as you can see, the bees are doing good. There's still a little bit of fondant left in here that I put in a couple weeks ago. So I'm just going to add another little piece. With the fondant, you try to get it just as close to the bees as you can without squishing them. When I put fondant in my hives, being it's cold, I do not use smoke, because smoke actually makes them gorge themselves on honey, and I'm trying to keep them from starving out. So that's how I put my fondant in. If the bees get pissy, I just put the top back on it and roll with it. But that's how I put bee fondant in. I'm going to do a couple hives today. I'll video all of them, but this hive looks like it's doing good. So on to the next one. Alright, this is my other package hive that I had. When I bought bees, I bought 2 packages at once. So there's actually a video of me putting this package in the hive. So this hive's actually a little more active than the other one was. So let's hope that we don't get eat up. I got stung one time by the other one a while ago, but it was in a good spot on my wrist because I got arthritis in my wrist, and bee stings is good for arthritis, so that didn't bother me. But here we go. I just popped the inner cover. Just gonna pull the top off. There's bees in this hive. They're just further down. They got a little bit of a roar to them. They still got plenty of honey stores. Matter of fact, most of the top of that box is honey. I'll show you what it looks like. See how good this camera picks up. That's all honey from this winter or fall. It's all pretty much goldenrod honey. But that's the second hive. Here's another little 5-frame nuke that I got. This was a split that I did. They're still alive and well. As you can see, there's not very many in there, so they really need some feeding. There you go. As you can see, these are a little more aggressive. I hadn't got stung by them, but they're not real happy about me opening up the hive and it being cold. So on to the next one. This right here is what we call a 5-frame nuke. This was actually a split that I did, and I've been nursing them along because it was late summer when I did it. But they've been doing pretty good. This is actually a 5-frame nuke box I built out of rough cut pine. As you can see, we still have bees. So I'm going to put some fondant in here. Matter of fact, I'm going to leave the wax paper on this one because it stuck to the wax paper pretty good. reason why I put these blocks on top of them is because sometimes the wind picks up and it will blow the tops off of them. So that's the reason for these blocks on the top. So that's number 3. Alrighty, this is actually the hive that I did my first cutout on. And you talking about some mean bees. Woo boy! These right here were some mean ones. But over time they've kind of calmed down a little bit. We'll see how aggressive they're going to be today. Get the top off. Go. They're still doing really good. They're still pretty calm. Not too many trying to come out and bump me. Bees, they will actually bump you before they sting you. So if you're ever around honeybees in the wild and you start feeling a couple of them bump you, it's time to go because they're fixing to start stinging. So that hive's doing good. This hive here was also a swarm that I got, and they really have done good this year. These bees come from over probably 45 minutes from the house, from around the Garland area. I already see them. They walk around with the little butts in the air. As you can see, these are doing good still. Now the only reason why I'm putting this wax paper in here is because my fondant stuck to the paper real bad, and instead of destroying the fondant to try to get it off the paper, those bees actually chew that paper up and take it out of the hive. Or I'll check on them in about a week or 2 and take the paper out myself. But that's another one down. This is also a swarm that I caught. This hive has been doing really good too. Matter of fact, it's like the bees are flowing out. Look at all the bees. These are normally really good bees too. This hive right here is another swarm that I caught, and it had gone queenless, so I put some eggs in here from the varroa resistant queen, and they built out 17 queen cells. And that's how I did some of my splits. I'll go over some of that later on this summer. Now the problem with this hive is that when I built this inner cover, I didn't leave a whole lot of room between the frames and the bottom of the cover, so when you put the bee fondant in here, it kind of smushes down in the frames a little bit. But these bees here can be a little pissy, not too terribly bad. I got some fondant on a plate that I didn't spray with the non-stick stuff, so it's sticking pretty bad. But this hive should have a varroa resistant queen in it, because like I said, they make queen cells off of a frame that had a varroa resistant eggs in it. I'm actually having to use my hive tool to scrape the fondant off of the plate because she's stuck bad. Yeah, they didn't like that. But they're bumping, not stinging, so that's a good thing. Put the top back on it, mash it down a little bit so it seals back up. And put the top back on. This is also another swarm that I caught. You'll notice most of my hives are either swarms or cutouts. This one's not looking good either. They're still good. We can get some fondant to put on them. These guys are wearing a real tight cluster too, and they're a little pissy. I got some extra honey frames at the house that's got a little bit of honey left on them. I might bring some of them over here and put them in this hive because they're clustered like them other ones were. They ended up dying. But that bee fondant to hold them over for a couple of days at least. Now this is the hive right beside the other ones. And normally these are just as much as the same attitude as the other ones. Let's see what they... Yeah, they're still good. They could use a honey frame too. And I might end up getting them one. It probably won't be today though because it's cooling off pretty quick. When you put bee fondant in these hives, you want to make sure not to cover that hole because you do need your ventilation for these bees because wintertime you got problems with moisture and bees will freeze.